Yeah, you can go right there. You can't get up. It is what it is. You did that wrong. Did I? Okay. I messed up. Yep.
Keep catching your elbow, your right elbow.
Yeah, I'm leaving it down there. I'm leaving it. I left it down there.
You live, Cam.
I need more jab.
One jab in the other.
So special and sweet, I love what you do for me. I'm caught up with your love, and I'm feeling so lucky. Have someone like you in my life. It feels so right, pick me up inside. You remind me of summer days, taking back to your love.
I'll tell him you said so, Troy. Appreciate the support. No, just stay in the shape. Good shot. Had some family stuff going on. Had a death in the family. Now they're just staying sharp. Obviously, I don't know if you guys heard in the interviews, but Danny Garcia and the rematch with Keith Thurman are their main two priorities. So that's where they're at.
is my spider legs.
What's up, Cash, man? All the time, fam. Appreciate you. So y'all know it's about 88 degrees in here, 90 degrees in this motherfucker. I'm drenched. Y'all gotta watch that interview. Me and I think Fight Hub put it up already. Me and Carl Froch got into a shouting match with Andre Ward, over Andre Ward, excuse me. He's still insecure about Andre Ward. He hasn't accepted that he lost. Yeah, you got to watch the interview. I mean, I'm gonna put it up later, but I'll put it up later so you guys can see it. I won't be able to put it up till tonight because I'm in transition the whole rest of the day and no Wi-Fi. Yeah, Carl definitely got to let it go, man. Watch the interview when we get done, or if you got pull up two screens, watch that interview. And hopefully they put the full interview. I didn't watch it yet. I just saw the title. But yeah, I don't know what's wrong with them. But you know, but I genuinely appreciate you guys following along. You know, inch by inch. And just to show you how we're growing, I don't know if you guys saw my lift interview yesterday, but late in that interview, he ended up knowing who the channel was. He was like, I know you. He got excited. And I was like, yeah, man. So we're growing inch by inch, man. I appreciate you guys, for sure. But yeah, this is... Yeah, I had to go every... Hey, yeah, I had to. Yeah, Ellie wanted to ask a question. Yes, yeah. You're right, Rope-a-Dope. Ellie wanted to ask a question. I put my hand on Ellie's shoulder like, nah, hold up, Ellie. I got to finish this conversation. But I'm going to put the whole thing up so you can see how it started and how it ended. And you guys will enjoy that. You know, Andre Ward deserves that, man. Sometimes you don't have to be the loudest to be the greatest. You know what I mean? And that's just the reality. Yeah. I put my hand on his shoulder all the time. Make sure y'all tweet that to Andre Ward too. Well, Andre Ward knows I got his back though. You know, he said thank you to all of us at the last fight, but just to keep him encouraged, you know, keep him inspired that what he's doing is the right thing to do. You know what I mean? Because truth be told, media can destroy a fighter. You know, make him have to reprove himself all the time. You know, a channel as small as mine can go after one fighter and people will start to believe it, right? Like all your girlfriends are probably asking you, does Conor have a chance? And realistically, we know he don't have a chance, right? So, you know, mainstream media is making people believe that he actually has a chance, when in actuality he doesn't. But Kenyon Martin is betting on Conor McGregor. I just interviewed Kenyon Martin. I'm in.
Hands up. Jab. Right hand. 1, 2. Jab. Right hand. 1, 2. Jab. Double. Double on the right. 1, 2. Right hand, left foot. Jab. Right hand. 1, 2. Feint.
Nah, you can't let it go.
Feint. Yep. Slip and slide, slip and slide. What do you hit? What do you hit? What do you hit?
He can't be faster. You're right, Young Reason. It's just, you know, propaganda. You know, propaganda. They want you to believe certain things. You know what I'm saying? But you know, they got to sell the fight. They want to make $1 billion on this fight. So I'm not gonna go out of my way and not let them get their money. You know, it keeps everybody happy. But if you ask me, I think Mayweather stops him. You know, I've played my little cousins in basketball at family reunions, family picnics, and I know the results of a guy who has more experience and who's done it longer. You know. What up, Supreme G? What's poppin', King? Yeah, he had a death in the family for real, and I wanted to tell you guys a long time ago, but you know, you gotta let them negotiate the other fighter before you announce that they're. You gotta have an immediate replacement when you say Shawn is out to fight, just so you can keep the people's interest. You know what I'm saying? I've known for a couple of weeks, but I just couldn't tell you guys, you know, out of respect for my relationships. But that goes to show you.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Come on.
Yeah. He is. He's gonna do the same thing what Andre Ward did to Kovalev. You know the TV public didn't see. Yeah, Shawn is super fast. He's super duper athletic, man. But he's gonna go to the body early, and you're not gonna see the effects of it to the 6th or 7th round. But yeah, Shawn is super athletic. You gotta watch his footwork. Replay this video. He can embarrass him like he did Canelo. And so, you know, I don't know if I told you guys this, but since this is 13 minutes in the video, but Floyd intentionally didn't knock out Canelo. He intentionally didn't stop him, excuse me. He told me that private. I'm not privately. I asked him.
Hips.
He purposely did.
Hips.
Yeah, his hand speed is stupid. Well, yeah.
Shoulders. Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hand speed is great.
Left hook. Straight.
Yeah, you know, you gotta respect the interviewee, and if I knew if I continued at that point, it would have went to a place where it shouldn't have. So that's why I stopped the conversation and changed the question. But I wanted to. I'll be at him tomorrow. We said we spoke after the interview, and he has no respect for him. He doesn't like Andre Ward at all. It's like Andre Ward stole his girl, you know. He took all his machismo, as my Latin brothers would say. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I believe that too.
Time, but here's what I want you to do.
You know, when you up 9 rounds to 2, 9 rounds to 1, 8 rounds to 2, why take that risk? You know, talk to Mickey Bay, Thomas Hearns when Sugar Ray Leonard needed to knock out the win. You know what I'm saying?
So, you here?
Hope you guys understand. He's putting this work in with no fight date. You know, while truth be told, you create your advantages when your opponents are sitting on their ass watching TV. You know, Keith Thurman is on his honeymoon right now. Danny Garcia's in Puerto Rico last I checked. You know what I mean? And Shawn Porter's in the gym. You create your advantages. You know what I mean? You create your advantages in life. You know what I mean? Don't sit on your ass and hope that what God gave you is enough. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can manufacture greatness.
You pay for them? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Give my feedback.
So,
It was cheap, some of them was cheap. Some of them, I think two was over 200.
and let that be a lesson learned. You know, some of you guys may disagree with styles and, you know, but at the end of the day, you create your advantage. Thurman's
Better have them than not need them. You need them, not have them.
He didn't want to. KO Black won. Thurman. I don't know. You know what? Thurman always goes up. Thurman always goes up in weight. They calling you the Energizer Bunny, Shawn.
Oh, we on live?
Yeah.
We live, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, we live, baby.
I told you I was live. You didn't hear me?
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, I told you I was
What's
live.
happening, people? I'm still working, staying focused. We getting ready for Danny Garcia. Y'all know what it is.
Oh, so they're getting ready for Danny Garcia. He
That's
let
all
the
it
cat out
is
the
out
bag.
there. Come on now. That's all it is out there. That's all it is out there.
Well, he should be here this weekend because I know it's a big promotion for PBC as well. You know, so I would think that I saw the Charlos and Spencer's here already. Everyone's here. I mean, Virgil Hunter's team is coming. Berto's coming. So it's LeBron's coming. LeBron's coming. LeBron's coming. I'm gonna see if I can set that up for you.
Yeah, I heard he was coming.
Yeah. Isaiah Thomas coming too.
I heard you say that.
Yeah, Isaiah Thomas is coming.
Is Rich coming for you? I don't imagine so.
So yeah. So it's Danny Garcia time. Now y'all know. That's Kenny Train. No, it's Kenny's choice not to train.
That was
Yeah.
excellent work.
Yeah,
Shawn.
yeah, that's his choice. You're a real throwback fighter, Shawn.
Throw his ass all the way back.
You hear me? I got throwback teaching.
He got throwback teaching. Hey, you throw his teaching back too.
Any questions? Any more questions I got or comments for the porters? I'll gladly tell them right now. Don't be shy. So now y'all know they want Danny Garcia.
Fire him off, y'all. Fire him off.
Fire him off. Who's your toughest opponent?
Maybe Kilbrook. Maybe. I would say between him and Keith Thurman.
Uh-huh. They said Danny don't want 2 consecutive losses. That's why you're not gonna get that fight.
Hey, he needs to man up. You know what sport he in. You better realize it.
They want y'all commentary. I know y'all done. They want y'all commentary on.
Everybody wants us to commentate on the fight.
Yeah, you already know. Danny
We
go.
might turn it down at home and do it ourselves. Some good commentary. Showtime, Shawn for the live.
Would you give AB a rematch?
No.
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 No. You don't want to steal $1 million?
Huh?
You don't want to steal $1 million?
I don't even think he worth that much.
You may be right. You may be Showtime might. Yeah, you're right. Maybe.
He didn't pay me, but do they want to see him against me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How many rounds do you spar per week? In camp?
We spar twice, sometimes 3 times a week. And like my dad always does. You know, I think our baseline is probably 6 rounds, and he fills it out from there. Sometimes it's 8 rounds. 8 can turn into 10 if you want to push. So definitely before a fight, we in the gym doing. We got at least one, maybe even 2 12-round sessions, just so everybody's on the same page. You know how I feel and all that kind of stuff.
Lomo or Rigo?
I want to see that.
Me too.
I want to see that. I got a feeling Rigondeaux's experience is superior enough to.
Yeah. It's so intriguing. They said you like the Mike Tyson. Oh, they want your opinion on McGregor Mayweather. Really?
to see Floyd come back, but they want a storyteller ending. You know what I mean? They want a storybook feel to this fight. I don't know if that's possible. I just don't see it. I don't see it.
Kenny, they want to know who's your favorite fighter of all time.
Mine, my dad.
Yeah, your dad. Both of y'all can answer. Sure, why not?
Ali, Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler. Yeah.
Yours is Marvin Hagler. Everybody knows that.
Ain't no secret.
Yeah, everybody knows that. Yeah.
I watch him like as soon as the bell rings, I'm just like eyes wide open. It be fights I've seen before. It be highlights I've seen before. There's something about him, man. When he just was all business. All business, and he was just a fighter, man. Back then, that's what they say, you know, they call me a throwback. Back then, that's what it was, man. They fought. They fought hard, and it was different, man. There was a pride that came along with being a boxer.
Sure.
You don't have that pride no more. Now you got, what can I get? You know, and you know, who can I get it from? You know, and with that kind of mentality, we've lost the pride of boxing. Because of that. I'm not saying every fighter doesn't have pride, but a lot of guys out there nowadays, they fight more with their money in mind than they do with their pride in mind.
Would you train your son to fight?
I'm sorry, would I train my son?
Yeah.
I don't know. My brother got a son, and his son is about to be 4. And he said he takes his son to the gym, and his son does it. And I'm like, do you want him to fight? Do you want him to train? And he said, man, I ain't telling him to do it. He's just doing it. You know. So my whole thing is, if my son decides to do it, nobody's gonna train him but me. And it's not because of the way I was brought up and my dad trained me. It's just because I probably feel a lot like my dad. My dad feels like no one can do better for me than him. And I would more than likely feel the same way about my son.
Your daddy could do good with your son.
He ain't coming near my son.
How old were you when you started?
You hear that?
What you say?
I said your daddy could do good with your son. He said he ain't coming near my son. No, but here's the difference. When he have a son, I'm gonna be with him like I be with Lincoln.
Oh, that's dope.
It ain't gonna even be the same
That's
relationship.
dope.
He'll be rotten, then I give him back to Shawn. Here, all yours.
Ain't no rotten.
Yeah, that's how it works. You gonna be rotten. I'm smaller rotten.
My nephew rotten like that.
Oh, really?
And my dad took him into the room and closed the door, and I was like, "Oh, and he was giving everybody trouble the whole week. So I was like, hey, you brought it on yourself, my brother. You brought it on yourself. And they came out holding hands. I'm like, man, what you do? He said, I just held him down and talked to him. I was like, your belt? I was like, your belt still on? That ain't the Kenny Porter I know. That is not the Kenny Porter I know. We don't do right. We don't do right. But yeah, man. My dad started training me when I was 4 going on 5.
4 years old guy.
Yup, and when I was 8, that's when you can start competing. I was full go when I was 8.
Wow.
And pretty much never stopped. You know, I had a few months here and there where I was doing other stuff, but for the most part, I've done this non-stop since I was 8.
First sparring session, he was 4.
How old was
1992.
How old was the kid he sparring?
First sparring session, 4.
You know, the funny thing about that, man, is I was a lot like I am now. Obviously, there's skill involved now, and there's intelligence involved. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we got the video.
I gotta go dig through my old VHS.
Wow, you got to bring that up.
Watching the video, was like the kid that I was sparring with. I was 4 going on 5, so he was probably 7 or 8. He was like just starting to fight. So he had the experience. He was moving around the ring. He wasn't really hitting me, just turning me, stuff like that, you know. And every time he turned me, I'm just right back on it, you know. And it was like, just like now, it's like corner to corner to rope, you know. Yeah.
Would you fight a UFC guy if the money's right? MMA fighter if the money's right?
I doubt it.
No?
I doubt it. I think this is a once in a lifetime fight. You know, there was Muhammad Ali, but there's no more Muhammad Ali. We haven't seen another one. There's Floyd Mayweather, but you know, there's nothing in between there. The closest thing to it was maybe even Adrian Brown, or if you want to count that. But then look at what's going on in his career, you know. So a guy like that, an athlete like that can do the things that he's done for the sport is it's a lifetime type of thing, you know. So the same goes with McGregor. He came around at the right part of the lifetime, you know. And even now, what is McGregor's 25? How old is McGregor?
29. Just turned 29.
Oh, he just turned 29.
Just turned 29.
Yeah, he's 29. So I mean, he's almost like 10 years younger than Floyd. You know what I mean? So it's just not gonna happen. You know, I don't think there'll ever be a guy that's that exciting in the UFC that wants to give that up and come test himself in front of millions of people with not with the understanding that something could go wrong. You know? When Floyd gets in the ring on Saturday, he doesn't think anything is going to go wrong. But McGregor's never been in there. He's never had to box. He's had to fight, but he's never had to box. So he has some questions, you know, whether you like it or not, whether you realize it or not, he has some questions. The same with me. When I get in the ring, man, listen, I'm like Superman. I'm a man of steel. You can't stop me. I'm going to get my way. I'm going to win. And it goes on from there, you know. But I know if I got a UFC octagon, you know, as prepared as I'm sure I would be, I still would have some questions, you know what I mean? Because the guy across from me has been doing it. I have not, you know.
What would you do in a rematch with Keith Thurman? Differently, excuse me.
You know, I think against Keith Thurman, I kept my foot on the gas pedal. I did the right things. I pushed him. I used the right combinations, the right defense, the whole nine. There was just a few laws where I got caught, and I got caught up, you know. So I think more than anything, just be prepared more mentally with the understanding that, you know, he's gonna throw the punches that he's gonna throw. I have to be ready for, you know. A majority of that fight, you saw really good defense, but then there were these little laws where I got caught clean, and he stole around, or I got caught more than I caught him in certain rounds, you know. So a very good athlete, very good fighter, very beatable, and I know I can beat him, you know. So it's a lot of me talking right now, but I feel like if I get in the ring and do it with him again, it clicks and it works, you know. And I think that's the part of fighting, that's the part of athletics, that's the part of being a professional that you can't really explain, because nobody's really in your head, nobody has your physical build and
Kenny's talking to somebody right now.
So yeah, you hear it.
I'll ask that when he comes back.
You can't see it the way I see it. You know what I mean? So.
You ever been starstruck by another boxer? Manny Pacquiao?
I think Manny might have been.
Really?
Might have been the one. Floyd, I really wasn't starstruck with Floyd, but I like being around Floyd. Floyd's a good dude, and he's always got some pretty good energy when I'm around him. When I met Manny was the first day I sparred him. I had never met him before I sparred him. The day I sparred him, and his coach Freddie Roach introduced us. He said just like this, and this is Shawn Porter. This is the guy you're gonna be sparring with. This is your chief sparring partner. And Manny turned around, you know what I mean? And when he turned around, it was just like, oh man, we're about to do this, you know? And I remember, like, when the bell rung, it was like, it's about to happen, you know? And I think it's just like in a lot of fights, you know? As soon as the bell rings, you get going, and then it's fighting, you know?
How was the first sparring session?
First sparring session.
With Manny? Well,
all of them were. All of them were.
Yeah, they got a question for you, Kenny. Kenny, they asked, is Shawn Porter's fighting style an enhancement of his natural ability, or is something you created?
Shawn Porter's fighting style.
An enhancement of his ability, or something you created?
It's both. It's created because of his abilities. That's why I train people. So if I train a tall guy, I'm gonna train him to his strengths. If I train a small guy, I'm gonna train him to his strengths. If I train a left-hander, I'm gonna train him to his strengths. You know what I'm saying? So we just do that. That's the way I train. I don't try to change fighters. I try to learn fighters. So I've been learning him all his life and obviously teaching him all his life. But at the same time, I'm always trying to get him to improve on the things he's doing. Whether or not when the bell rings, he go out there and do it, that part I'm not in control of. But for the most part, for most of his career, throughout most of his life, he's been successful. So sometimes you rationalize, or he rationalizes that, oh, I didn't do what he wanted me to do, but I still knocked him out.
Yeah.
And the other part of that is, you didn't do what I wanted to do, and I had to kind of coach into what you were doing so that we could be successful. And that's not you raising your levels. That's kind of me coming down and trying to coach you through what we're dealing with. Sometimes that's part of what you have to do with these guys.
You over or you walk over?
What? Okay, they said ask the question.
You right there at the shop, right?
No, I'm down the street now, Circus.
Okay.
Do you ever worry about your son that's fighting someone who's on steroids, like a John Jones type of fight? You ever worry about that?
I've never worried about it, but most of our fights over the last few years, we've always had to take those tests. But guys have ways of getting around that kind of stuff. They really do. And it's a shame. It's sad. It's horrible for sports in itself. But it's the day and age what we're dealing with. And we do everything we can to make sure that we're prepared. And we ask that the other guy has to take the same test that we have to take. So they randomly come and check Shawn all the time. And he wouldn't be rated with the WBC if he wasn't allowed them to test him. See, they can come in here right now if they want to. They can call right now and say, Shawn, you got to take a test. If he says no, then they can drop him from the rankings.
Wow.
So that's the WBC rule now. If you're in the top 10, they can pop up on you at any point in time.
So your son just officially called out, well, you guys did it the other day, but he just officially called out Danny Garcia.
Well, I think he officially called him out when he did that video.
Yeah, I know.
You know, and, you know, like the kid said, I'm laughing at you, I'm not laughing with you. I think he said, now, sign the contract or something like that, but he knows that's not how this business works.
Yeah,
We could have a certified mail sent to that man's house, and he'll say, no, I ain't answering that door. You know, we could do about it. Unless a guy wants to fight you, there's nothing you can do. He got to willingly want to sign that contract. You can send a contract. If you don't want to sign it, what do the public know about it? We just say he didn't sign, but that don't mean he did. You know what I mean? In his mind, it wasn't what I wanted to do. So,
Do you think the WBC's doping policy is doing a good job with not people taking steroids?
I can't tell you exactly what they're doing. I can only say for ourselves that they've randomly tested us whenever they wanted to and continue to do so. So I'm happy about that part of it. But I think in anything, especially where this type of stuff, performance-enhancing drugs is concerned, you can always do more. You can always do better. I mean, why can't it be, okay, I understand that it's random. I get that part. That's fine. But why can't it be not only random, but every month, if you were in the top 5 or top 10, every month we come in and see you. I don't have a problem with it.
So that pretty much answers the Paulie Malignaggi questions that the small public might have now.
Well, Paulie knew.
I know.
Paulie knew when he was a world champion at 130 pounds, and Danny Jacobs was the top fighter in New York, even though he was an amateur, at 165. And Shawn was fighting Danny Jacobs in national championship fights and winning. Paulie knew that guy was not somebody he wanted to fight. And when he finally fought Shawn against all of his wishes, because he had been offered that fight 2 years before that. That wasn't the first time Paulie was offered that fight. He had been offered that fight 2 years prior. When he finally took that fight, he took it reluctantly, and he took it with the hope that maybe something could happen in his favor, and it didn't. And he couldn't accept that, and he's still running around saying the same dumb shit, For that matter, I've seen a video recently, where Andre Berto talking about, oh, you headbutted me. No, Andre, his cuts are in his eyes. So I don't think anybody's using their eyes to headbutt. In actuality, Andre had his head in Shawn's eye. But that notwithstanding, Dre, why didn't you knock his ass out? Why didn't you do to him what he was doing to you? Why didn't you even make that attempt? Because as I seen it, I didn't see that attempt on your behalf. I saw that attempt on his behalf, And I told him in the round that he knocked him out, I said, go get him right now. Get him out of here.
Somebody
because
just said
there was
facts.
nothing. Yeah, because there was actually nothing that I saw at that point that he could do to stop it. So, you could say, I can say, we can all say, well, both guys are 5'7", and both guys are coming forward. So that's why you have a head clash. Well, Keith and Shawn are close to the same height, but Keith moves in a different direction. So there's no head clash. You understand what I'm saying? So there's Adrian Bronner is moving in a different direction, so there's no head clash. Same thing with some of the other guys that he fought. But it can happen, and so that it did, and it was something that you got to deal with. He didn't care. He wanted to win.
They said Berto didn't want to be there.
No, Berto didn't want to be there. No, he didn't want to be there. He wanted to be where he at right now, doing the things he's doing, and that's cool. If that's what you want to do, that's fine.
Yeah, they said any Terrence Crawford stories and amateurs, and part 2 to that. Okay, let's let you answer that before I answer the second part.
What's the first question?
Any Terrence Crawford stories and amateurs?
Listen, man, a Terrence Crawford story. We're in another country. Terrence, I look up in the crowd. Terrence is in a fight in another country.
Like Ron Artest, like?
Yeah. There's a melee. A Donnybrook going on up in the stands. And I'm coaching, and I'm like, I got to run up here and break this up. I run up here to break it up. Terrence is such a dog. He's beating up an American. That's how much of a dog Terrence is. I love that kid, man.
So
how much. He didn't care who you were. It didn't matter to him. You know what I mean? It just didn't matter. And it shows now, and I'm so proud of him and the stuff he do and the way he get it done, man, and the person that he became and the champion that he is, and congratulations. I'll bow down to the young man. He's doing his thing, and I'm proud of him.
Will his power carry up to 47?
Yes. He'll be fine at 47. I'm sure he'll do well at 47.
And were you a boxer?
Yeah, I'm a boxer. I boxed. I did amateur boxing. I did kickboxing. I did tough man contests where I won them. I even fought on an amateur show with Shawn. He worked my corner and I worked his.
Oh, wow.
And that was cool. Yeah. So I probably had and this is competitive fights where we got paid money, you know what I'm saying? Probably somewhere between 50 to 75 fights. Yeah. So.
Any more questions, y'all?
Boxing has been good to us,
It has. I've seen your house.
It's taken us all over the world. It's taken us all over the world. It
absolutely has.
You know what I mean? It's taken us all over the world. And when we get together with a Terrence Crawford, or I get together with the Charlo boys, I've known them since they're 14 years old. I had them at Northern Michigan when they was 14. It's amazing to me to see those guys grow into the men that they are. That's amazing to me. I am a fan of them becoming men and being proud of them, just the men that they are now. You know what I mean? Your son, for example, when I talk to him and I see him, I hold on to those moments till I see him again. And if I don't see him for 5 or 10 years, and when I see him, he's a 15-year-old man or young man at that point, I'll be proud, you know what I mean? Because I remember when. So I look back at those same moments with those same guys. I remember Terrence, I think our first junior Olympic tournament we were in, he was only about 14 years old. And Shawn was knocking out everybody in the tournament. And Terrence was coming up to me and said, man, he's just knocking out everybody. You know what I mean? And he's like, yeah, I got to do the same thing. And so guys was always competitive like that. I remember Gary Russell. Him and Shawn were in the tournament. And it got down to the championship, national championship, to the title fights. And Shawn was down on points going into the last round. I think Gary had already knocked this guy out to win the national title. And Shawn was down on points going into the last round. And he knocks the guy out and put the guy through the ropes. and he gets the outstanding boxer of the tournament.
Wow. I'm going to go in order of the questions, guys. Go ahead.
Yeah, and he got the outstanding boxer of the tournament. And the cool thing about it was Gary wasn't mad. Gary's like, that's my roommate. That's my man, you know. And they've always rooted each other on. Shawn said he got a call from Gary just recently, a random call. He didn't even know who it was. And Gary was just talking to him and just kicking it with him and talking about life and boxing and things like that. He said, who is this? I said, man, this is Gary, Lil G, you know. So, you know, those things, man, is boxing, and it's our fraternity. It's our fraternity. Sure. You know what I mean? This is what we're a part of. It's our family.
Were you a Bruce Lee fan?
Hell yeah, I was a Bruce Lee fan, dude. I used to like cut grass or take out somebody's trash to get some money to go see a Bruce Lee movie, dude, on the weekend, and get enough money to also get a Big Mac when I get there. Absolutely. I studied, I read his books, Gung Fu. I bought that book when I was a teenager. Gung Fu? Yeah. There's a new movie coming out, right? Is it out yet?
Yeah, I saw the previews for it. Any advice for raising our sons to be successful and reach their full potential?
You know what? A kid said to me yesterday, early 20-year-old kid, he valeted my car, and I came back and he said, sir, I really love your car. I said, thank you. He said, do you have any words of wisdom for me before I leave? And I just thought to myself, I said, words of wisdom? He kind of caught me off guard, because kids never ask you for that stuff. Yeah. I'm always giving it, but they never asking for it, right?
Sure.
So he kind of caught me off guard.
It was an old man move right there. I'm always giving it.
You know, so I thought about it for a second, and I pulled one out the hat. And he was perplexed.
Perplexed.
I said, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And then he looked at me, he said, perplexed look on his face. He said, what do you mean by that? I said, the same habits you create to do things positively. So let's say you're studying for a test. You got finals coming up. And you decide, I'm going to go in my house. I'm going to turn off the TV. I'm going to turn off the music. I'm going to turn off my phone, or at least put it on Vibe. And I ain't going to do no Facebook. I'm going to just study for 2 hours. Those are good habits that you've created. Those same habits you can create in a negative way. For example, you come in the house, you got some music playing, the TV's on, you Facebooking, somebody's texting you, and then you decide you're going to get on the computer and start studying. All of those distractions are going to probably show up when you take that test. So how you do one thing is how you do everything. If it's a positive thing, continue with that. But the same thing happens in a negative light. If you do small things on the negative side, they will roll and manifest themselves in something larger.
Yeah, they said you're doing a great job with Shawn. Fuck the haters. How long will you guys fight, and what's the exit plan?
We've been working on the exit strategy about 3 years now. Yeah, and that don't make sense to people, but yeah, those are the kind of things that we do. And then how much longer he'll do it? You know, with boxing, I'm a realist. It could be one punch, and I say, I don't want to see you do this no more. It could be 5 or 6 fights, and I say, hey man, it's time for you to walk away from this. But boxing, you can't really determine exactly when that's going to happen. God willing, I hope that, you know, he's now just getting ready, you know, he's in his late 20s, he's getting ready to approach 30. God willing, I hope that, you know, we're only doing this another 2-3 years, and he's moved on to something else. So, you know, we've got some good investments, we got some good advice, we've got some good mentors in different positions, and these are things that have been there for him, you know, early on in life. So it's time now to really work on those things as hard as he works on boxing, work on those other things. So I'm looking forward to that. He's getting ready to go. Love him.
Appreciate you.
Yep.
Thanks, Shawn.
See y'all later.
All right, Shawn's out. Do you think it's time for Crawford to leave Top Rank don't think Arum will be letting him fight anyone from PBC that's top tier when he moves to 47.
He might have to do that to fight the Shawn Porters of the world. Look, as much as I love the kid, let's keep it real. He's a great fighter. We want to fight great fighters. But again, if he's with Top Rank, that might be a hard situation to make happen. And I believe, this is just my opinion, that the Keith Thurmans, Danny Garcias, Shawn Porters, Errol Spence's, you know, the Bud Crawfords of the world, those guys need to fight each other in order to make each other great. Like Sugar Ray Leonard, Hagler, Hearns, Duran, they made each other great. And those guys that I just named, they need to make each other great. And it can't be, they shouldn't be held back by politics, or they shouldn't be held back by promotional contracts and things like that. They should be able to get out there and find out who the best is.
So the next question, it says, why don't Shawn fight Spence?
At this point in time, we are the #1 rated fighter in the WBC. Our gripe, our grind, our focus is on Keith Thurman. It just so happens there's a possibility that in between Keith Thurman could be Danny Garcia. I don't have a problem with either one of those. So he's not on our radar. He's not on our radar. It's as simple as that. He wouldn't be on anybody else's radar if they had Keith Thurman in front of them, or if they had Danny Garcia in front of them. They would want that. As a matter of fact, we've had the IBF belt. It's not something that I'm interested in. I know how they operate. It's not cool. It's not a good organization for that matter. You know what I mean? I don't care if they don't like me. It don't mean shit to me. You know what I mean? It's just not a good situation to be in. But I went over there. I supported Errol. Errol's one of my guys. I coached Errol. We've been all over the world together.
Playing basketball together tonight.
We've been all over the world together. You know, so, you know, anybody in the position that Shawn is in, if anybody out there was in Shawn's position, which is WBC #1 rated fighter, they would want to fight the #1 rated guy, or the #1 guy, the champion, which is Keith. So that's what we obtained when we beat Berto. And then, you know, since then we've heard some rumblings because Keith had an injury, and we heard some rumblings that, you know, the WBC wants to make Danny Garcia, Shawn Porter fight. Let's make that happen. And those are two great fights for us. We want to get Keith back, and we definitely would love to fight Danny Garcia.
Do you watch UFC?
No, I don't. I've been a part of that kind of stuff. I've been in matches where we threw elbows and did takedowns and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, but my focus has been on boxing. I've actually trained and worked with and had, when I promoted amateur boxing shows, have had UFC fighters in my amateur shows. As a matter of fact, the UFC heavyweight champion of the world, Stipe Miocic, fought on Shawn's undercards on my shows as an amateur. And he's now UFC heavyweight champion of the world. And that's amazing to me because I saw the boxing ability that he had when he boxed in the amateurs, but he chose to go to the UFC.
They said, you heard about Amir Khan accusing Joshua of sleeping with his wife.
Yeah, but that's kind of personal.
Yeah,
I can't touch that one. I can't touch that one. I don't. You know, that's love and basketball. We can't do the love and boxing. If they come out with that show, I'm gonna pass up on that one. But Angel, Danny, Shawn, Kenny, we need to make that happen. I gotta go get out of these hot clothes.
Okay. All right. Last question. Have you ever met Al Heyman?
I meet Al Heyman all the time. Me and him get together and we break bread. And it's funny because we do it in a way it's just regular, like regular guys and regular people. And we talk a lot, and we'll probably talk today, you know.
Y'all talk a lot.
Yeah, he's one of my, he's definitely one of my mentors. He is definitely my mentor, the mentor above all the others. So yeah, absolutely. He's a great guy, you know, and he's done great things in this sport. He's done amazing things in this sport. So your Keith Thurmans of the world, your Danny Garcias of the world, your Shawn Porters of the world, your Deontay Wilders of the world, they're all a product of Al Heyman.
Hey, he got to go get ready and get out of here. But Appreciate you guys tuning in. Sorry I didn't get to all the questions, but he's gone.
Hey, we do it again.
We do it again. I'll be around him all weekend. Yeah. Are you playing basketball too, or what you gonna do?
Huh?
You playing basketball too?
I'm gonna watch.
You gonna watch? Okay.
I don't play basketball no more.
All right. We're supposed to play basketball with.
I see him on the streets.
Actually, you see, Earl Spence and Shawn are really great friends. I don't know if y'all know that. They're right. It's kind of like Timothy Bradley and oh, all the time, guys. I was going in order, so I let you guys know I'm not missing a question. I won't overlook a question. But yeah, Earl Spence and Shawn Porter are really cool friends. They're playing basketball tonight, so you know what I mean. So just so you know, and so you guys want that fight, but that would be like Terrence Crawford fighting Timothy Bradley, if you guys know what I'm saying. So now you guys know the truth about that. Town Biz. What's up, Town? What other thing that probably can answer for you guys that I know? Appreciate you, bad guy. If Kenny was a Prince Not Seen fan, I'll save that question and ask you guys a later time because I can't answer that. I can't answer that. All right, he's closing out. Let me go. Appreciate y'all. All right, appreciate you. Good meeting you, King. Take care of that gum.
I was having trouble with the battery.
All right. So talk to y'all later. I'm going to go live again later if I get something else possible. I'll go live at the basketball game so y'all can see us.
And I didn't like
I'm going to kill these motherfuckers. I played ball in college. They have no idea. Shawn says, do you play basketball? I said, nigga, I played in college. But I ain't played in over a year because I've been doing this boxing thing full time, you know, cutting weight. Yeah. What up, Wiki Diddy Split? What up, King? And but I'm gone, man. I got to pack up and shit. But watch that interview I did with Carl Froch. I'm watch that interview and let me know what you guys. Yep. All right. I gotta go. I'll call you.